Good evening and welcome to the national debate, where you get to meet the grassroots lobbies in Washington and tell them what you think. I'm your host, Neil Newman, and our debate tonight concerns immigration. With me are Carlin Pichel with Americans for Liberal Action and Connie Park with National Conservative Union. Now let's review our debate rules. This past week, our audience submitted questions they would like each side to answer. These questions came from individuals who identified themselves as conservatives, moderates, or liberals. Tonight I'll ask our guests the 6 most popular questions, 2 from conservatives, 2 from moderates, and 2 from liberals. Each side will have 3 minutes to respond to each question. After each question, you, the audience, will vote on each one and we'll see the results. Okay, here we go. It looks like our first question from conservatives is, should illegal immigrants be permitted to carry a driver's license? Carlin, we agreed you would respond first.
Thanks, Neil. Americans for Liberal Action feels illegal immigrants should be permitted to receive driver's licenses. There are 3 reasons for this. First, it's been demonstrated that immigrant driver's license restrictions do not deter illegal immigration, but they do cost lives. There are more than 40,000 traffic fatalities each year and over 6.3 million motor vehicle crashes. A disproportionate number of the fatalities and accidents are caused by unlicensed drivers. The AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety reported that unlicensed drivers are almost 5 times more likely to be in a fatal crash than validly licensed drivers. Unlicensed drivers are also less likely to stay on the scene after an accident. The second reason we oppose restrictions on driver's licenses is that they cost all Americans in the form of higher insurance. Each year, uninsured motorists cost over $4.1 billion in insurance losses in this country. An average of 14% of all accidents are caused by uninsured drivers. Licensed drivers are tested, registered, and photographed and can get insurance. And that's important because if you're involved in an auto accident and the other driver is uninsured, you could be left with huge unpaid medical expenses. Finally, when you try to use state and local law enforcement to control immigration, you hurt taxpayers. State and local law enforcement officers can't do everything. Their primary job is protecting the public. Time spent enforcing immigrant driver license restriction means that they have less time to catch criminals and protect you and me. It's the same with state departments of motor vehicles. They are charged with guaranteeing the safety of our roads and highways, but they do not have the resources to also enforce federal immigration policy, nor are they effective in doing so. Verifying immigration status would make the job of DMVs much harder to do. Not every legal immigrant has the same documents to prove their immigration status. That means significantly more training for DMV workers to recognize all those documents, and that would be very costly. State DMVs will have to spend their own state's money to figure out who is in the U.S. legally. That's money that would otherwise spend on real public safety needs. To summarize, restricting driver licenses to only legal immigrants will cost you higher insurance, higher taxes, and maybe your life. There is no question our immigration system is in serious need of reform. The question is what to do about it. But preventing immigrants from getting driver's licenses is not the answer.
Thank you, Carlin. Connie, you have 3 minutes to respond.
Thanks, Neil. Ms. Pichel has cited some interesting facts on her slides. I just want to show you one graphic. Please look at this. It's the driver's license of Mohammed Atta, one of the hijackers of the 9/11 attacks on America. Atta was in this country illegally. In fact, 6 of the 7 terrorists involved in the first Trade Center bombing had violated immigration law at some point prior to taking part in the attack. In the United States, our driver's license is essentially a national identification card, yet many states do not thoroughly verify the applicant's identity. Many states do not even require a valid Social Security number to get a license, and many will issue a state ID number for those without one. Ms. Pichel's group and the rest of the Open Borders lobby are constantly pressuring state legislatures to issue driver's licenses to illegal aliens is one of the keys to erasing the distinction between legal citizens and illegal aliens. This makes it very easy for illegal aliens like the 9/11 terrorists to obtain driver's licenses. These licenses become breeder documents, which allow the recipient to obtain additional documents based upon the false premise that he or she is a U.S. citizen. For example, all of the 9/11 hijackers had driver's licenses or state-issued non-driver's identification cards, which they then used to open bank accounts, rent housing, and board planes. 11 states issued driver's licenses to illegal aliens, including Alaska, Connecticut, Idaho, Louisiana, Montana, New Mexico, North Carolina, Ohio, Rhode Island, Tennessee, Utah, Washington, and West Virginia. One of the arguments in favor of issuing driver's licenses to illegal aliens is that it will make our roads safer. This is not likely, because someone who has broken U.S. law to come here will most likely continue to break our laws, including traffic laws, and to drive without insurance. This can't go on. State governments cannot be permitted to let illegal aliens into this country.
Okay, thank you, Connie and Carlin, for your responses. Let's see how the audience feels on this subject. Please vote now on whether you think illegal aliens should be permitted to carry a driver's license. In the meantime, if you want to send an email to your congressman or senator, click the link on your screen below this picture. It looks like liberals agree by 4-1 and conservatives disagree by 6-1. Now let's see what our first question from liberals is.